Welcome back to another Tuesday Newsday, everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm Rem. I'm the Community and Marketing Director for Catalyst, and I am here with RJ Thomas, Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20, um, and we're gonna talk some Shadowrun stuff for the releases for this year. So I'm excited for that. And I've got some updates for you guys, a little bit of news and stuff. So we will go through that. Oh, also the creator of Veronica Mars, apparently. So thanks for that.
Yeah, I'm the last to know. I mean, apparently I've been so famous that, it's, I'm just now finding out.
Well, apparently Rob Thomas is the new John Smith. So it's, yeah.
Yeah, tell me about it. It's like I'm not worried about anybody stealing my identity because there's just so many of us. Good
Yeah.
luck finding me.
Said like a true Shadowrunner.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of news first for you guys. So I wanted to, because we are getting close to March, so I wanted to talk about the conventions. So first off is the trade show for Gamma in Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville, that's how you say it. I can't say it fast. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that's March 1st through 5th. So retailers hope to see you there, and a lot of the publishers will be there. It's a great show. If you have, if you're a retailer and you haven't been, it's a really cool opportunity to go. There's a ton of seminars, a lot of networking. It's one of the best networking shows, I'd say, of the year. And I'll be there. Mike Ritchie will be there with Ben Paul, our new sales guy I keep talking about, is going to be there. And Michael, who is our social media guru, will be there as well. I'll be teaching or leading a panel on marketing, and be taking meetings for, it's going to be exciting, but for Catalyst, for my company, Alternis Productions, if you need marketing, for Chessex, because we are their marketing team, and for XP Network. So if you have questions or want to set up a meeting for however we might be able to help, feel free to reach out and we will schedule a meeting. GaryCon, I will be there March 19th through the 22nd. If you are planning to go, I am doing a couple of panels there, and I haven't, just because this year has been a bear. I'm thinking of adding a couple of last minute Shadowrun games, so I might do an Anarchy 2.0 and a 6th edition. So if you are interested, keep watching the GaryCon site, and when I decide if I have the energy or not, I'll put those in. The following week is March 25th to the 29th is Adepticon in Milwaukee. So two different Wisconsin shows right back to back. So feel free to get to both, but check out Adepticon. Catalyst will have a booth there and have a big presence as we usually do. So hooray! That is our busy March schedule. Now, master schedule wise, I'm going to click through this a little more. I think I might have gotten a message from Paul last week after the show confirming or denying if it was accurate, because I wasn't quite sure. That was Tuesday, Feb 3rd. Oh, it was we asked a question about Somerset Strikers that had released last March. It must be on the we must be doing a reprint for it. So I forgot what the question was, so I had to go back and look. All right. So let's start with battletech. As we usually do. Sorry, RJ, I know you. I saw that. Okay. I saw that one. All right, what do we have here? I have, scrolling to the right side, or the right dates and stuff. So it is February. So according to this, again, tentative if I get any of this wrong. I'm just reading off this. So House
We disavow all
Karita.
official knowledge.
It's I wish these were a little more accurate, but hey, we'll get there. House Karita Ranger Lance Force Pack is February 18th. Force Manual Mercenaries is supposed to be March 4th. I wonder if that is on the, oh, I didn't take a screenshot of that one. I got to actually see the on a meeting this morning, the a couple of the what's on the boats, like the list of what's on the boats, and there was a bunch of reprint stuff. So I screen capped 2 of them, but one of them I was looking specifically for the mercenary reprints. So I didn't get any that weren't relevant to that. So Battletech Elysian Lancers Command Lance Force Pack is supposed to go into Barnes and Noble on April 1st. Then I've got Salvage Box Legendary is 418. The TPC, no retail. Okay, cool. Sorry, I saw there's some comments attached to this that popped up, so I was making sure I'm not crazy. Ooh, all right. So that's 418 for the Legendary Warriors. Then I mentioned this last week. We're going to be releasing the BattleTech Timberwolf C-Scale, which is the same giant Timberwolf from the Mercenaries Kickstarter, but there's extras. They're for sale now. So those are, instead of being in the brown box that it came in, it's going to be repackaged with like our usual stuff. So that is $4.29 is when that is due for publishing. All right. Last week I was a little nervous because there's a whole bunch of things that are listed under $4.29. So there's a reason for some of them. So I feel a little bit more confident, but some of these may move to May or something like that, just to spread out these releases a little more. We'll see. But hopefully these are pretty accurate. So I've got, does that one have a note? Okay. Battle Clan. I feel like I'm stalling a little bit, and that the audience is like here for the BattleTech news, so they're like, come on, tell me the 429 stuff. All right, no more stalling. BattleTech Clan Battle Star Force Pack is due 429. BFM Volcanic Glacier is due 429. And then all the glacier and volcanic stuff comes around that. So that's BattleTech Map Pack Volcanic, Battle Map Fire and Ice, 1, 2, 3, and 4, which are Erupting Canyon, Magma Fjords, Umber Station, and Caldera Lake. And then we've got Map Pack Glacier with Fire and Ice 5, 6, 7, and 8, which is Fire Rivulets, Burning Station, Acrid Battlefield, and Laze Base, Laze. And then finally, the last thing that is on for 429, and again, grain of salt, Hotspots Draconis Reach. So some big stuff coming, which is super exciting. Whew. What else do we have? For RPG, RJ, you had said that some of these dates might be updating.
I've got the most up-to-date dates,
Why don't
or
you
at least
take...
for Shadowrun release, but I can't speak for the other RPG division stuff.
Okay, why don't you talk about the Shadowrun releases for the next, the quick version for the next couple of months, and then we'll go to the deep dive later when we do our interview.
Sure. So coming out right now, scheduled for March 4, we've got Mean Streets, which is going to be kind of our update on all things gangs, criminal, and underworld stuff. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We've actually got a lot of neat stuff in there. Like we have, everyone's familiar with the classic like Halloweeners and Ancients and stuff. We actually have new gangs in this one, so I'm excited about that. Then coming in sometime in April, we're guessing early. We don't have an exact date for that just yet. We've got kind of a companion book called Asphalt Jungles. It's kind of like the Needle's Eye version, where we do a deep dive into a particular location, and then we have a bunch of missions that are associated. In this case, we're going back to Motor City, aka Detroit, to catch up on all the craziness that's been happening there. So I'm very, very happy about how that one turned out as well. And then after that, we go back to the void. In June, we have a book called Explosive Decompression, which we take Shadowrun into the not so final frontier of space. For all of those of you who love both a little bit of hard sci-fi, we've got some updates there. And again, that one is a composite resource and campaign book. So we don't have as many missions as we would have in, say, like Asphalt Jungles, but we do have enough. So you're going to be introduced to a lot of new stuff and some missions to play with it. And after that, we've got a new book that we just finished up on that's getting ready to go off to print, which will be coming out later this year. Don't know exactly when, which is called State of the Art 2084, which is going to be a big update on everything that's been happening in the Sixth World. So some of you are kind of getting lost in the lore. Hey, we'll get you caught up. And then I also want to announce that we finally got this one off to print. We're doing a 4th printing of Shadowrun Sixth World. And this time we are going to be going to the Hong Kong Free Enterprise Trade Zone. Yep. So we've got...
Do you have a sample copy?
Unfortunately, I do not, because we've had some issues with some of our printing stuff lately, but I will give a little teaser and say that we have all new cover by Echo Chernik.
Ooh!
Yes. And we've got the Hong Kong section was written by longtime Shadowrun contributor Malik Tom. So
yay!
Oh, yes. So, and it's a good and so
if possible, just to put some pressure on you and Tyler here, if you have the cover, can you email it to Tyler, and then when I finish the stuff, maybe Tyler can get it up for us?
I will see what I can do.
Yay! Awesome. I want to see the cover. I'm excited. All right, we'll come back for any other stuff. I do have on here, I can see, all of our other RPG stuff that is coming. We've got Wizard Riders coming later this year for a quick start guide for Free RPG Day, I believe. Yeah. Then Voltron is Legendary Defender. The PDF is out to backers, and then they're finishing up with waiting on approvals for Defender of the Universe, and that will go out to backers in PDF, and that means both are ready to print. I know the board game as well is finishing layout this week, and then going off for final approvals. So we're pretty on par with all of those products being about the same time. Then Frostpunk, I know that we're finishing up the core rulebook. I believe we had approvals, or we're getting approvals or something like that, but we expect, I believe, for the backers that the PDF of the main book will be out toward the end of this month. But then they'll still be working on the Explorer's Guide, so that's still a little ways away. And then finally is Metamorphosis Alpha we'll have more news on later this year. So lots of stuff. Board Game Division has a busy year too. We've got dates. There are the dates. So Shadowrun Takedown, once fulfillment is complete, will be coming to retail. March 4th is the release of Kung Fu Panda Street Food Showdown, which is a card game featuring Kung Fu Panda. So we're pretty excited for that. So check that out. We will also be doing a reprint for The Duke, which is one of our best-selling games, and that's getting a redesigned art cover, I believe, and some fresh updates. So looking forward to that. And then also we have talked about Barkeep's Bones, which is the next Quincy's Tavern game iteration, and that's going to be a lot of fun. It's like a leveled up liar's dice. So there's more to it, next level of complicated, but it's a lot of fun, and it comes with like wooden cups, so it's very satisfying slamming the cups on the table. So yeah, I think that's what I can talk about for board games for now. What else do we have? Leviathans. So domestic fulfillment is complete, and we are gearing up toward international fulfillment, which is exciting. A couple last minute shipments are in process to get to the hubs, and then those, and we're getting the quotes, and those can start fulfilling. For domestic, if anyone has not gotten their order or anything yet, feel free to email store@catalystgamelabs.com or send a message in the Kickstarter. We are up to date on anyone that has paid their shipping. So if you are like, hey, I backed that a while ago and haven't thought about it in a couple of years, go check it out so that we can send those one-off shipments to you now. All right, fiction. Let's see. I'm putting Michael to the test if they've updated since the last time I was in here. So let's see here. We're going to 2026. So we had just released, and I have some links for you guys too, so some of this might be a little repetitive, but Cortex Bomb was January 23rd. We have House of the Sun, the novel. Oh, wait, that was still from October, in the wrong place. Audiobook in February. I think this just went live, actually, was Without Question by Brian Young. March's audiobook is Damocles Sanction by Michael Sierravella. Novella for Shadowrun in February is Trial Under Fire by Jason Mallory.
You want to put a pin in that because that's going to go back into the ebooks.
Oh, cool. We'll come back to that. And then Heart of Iron for Battletech is supposed to be February 13th. And that's by Laurette Bilodeau. And then March, I've got Silent Assets by Dan Isberner. He's one of our German contributors. So hi, Dan. Shrapnel, issue 24. It just says Bixby next to it, so pretty sure that's I love that you get the shorthand for your feature in one of your features in Shrapnel. And that's in March. And then Weapons Free is in March. That's an anthology for Battlecore Anthology Volume 3. Doesn't look like I have April in here yet, and my notes down below are from June onwards for audio. So we'll have to hopefully get more next week. And real quick, before I forget, last week Wargriz asked for an update on the Leviathans fiction, and I did get an answer from John after our meeting, so let me scroll up and get that real quick. Editing Bill's first novel in the trilogy now for the Leviathans trilogy, and hoping to get all 3 books done in the next 12 months or so. So first one is in editing, so there's some info for you. Anything under, merch doesn't have dates, looks like, so I'm not sure if there's anything I can share about what's coming for like Adepticon or anything like that. So I think that's most of my news for Master Schedule, fiction, and stuff like that. So let's head on over to RJ. If you guys have any questions in the meantime. Oh, I did forget the links. So Dave, I think I saw you in the chat, so I'm going to count on you for the links here. So the first one is check out the Battletech Companion app to access the Force Pack 5 update. So those are on the Google Store or the App Store. So 2 links for those. Protect the Risings of a New Clan Jade Falcon with Brian Young's Without Question on Audible. Link is in chat for that. Find out what's coming for battletech this year in Lauren Coleman's interview with Sarna's Sean. I had fun reading that because like the best thriller in the world doesn't give me the anxiety that reading something that I haven't edited from Lauren Coleman gives me. So my anxiety can't handle it, but he did good. There's nothing in there that I was like, oh God, no. Take a vacation in the magistracy of Canopus with Brian Young's Remain to Be Seen. And then for Shadowrun, get the band back together for an epic comeback in Brian Young's Cortex Bomb. Was it Brian Young's Cortex? I think it's Brian C.P. Steele's. No, it was Brian Young's. I'm getting my books confused.
There's
Cortex
so many.
Bomb. Yeah. I was
many books, so little time.
Writing for Shadowrun. Even influencers can run the shadows with Sean Holland's I Heart You Shadowrunner. By the way, fun story about Sean is for my stuff, I miss streaming, so we're doing pre-recorded content for a while because my schedule. So we're gonna do Legend of the Five Rings, and I need a GM for it. And I was looking at the credits of the book to see if I knew any of the designers, and Sean Holland is one of them. So I was like, Sean, do you want to run this? So we'll see if Sean joins us or not. But he has worked on other cool stuff too. Discover all the corporate machinations behind Nugget Burger and more with Running a la Carte. Do you know who that's by?
Yes, that is by Daryl Mott.
Oh, Daryl. Oh, Daryl.
Yep.
That got two Daryls for me.
Mm-hmm.
Jack into the latest Shadowrun missions content with 2081-13, a cookie from Uncle Lung. So that's exciting. I wonder who worked on this one too. I want to go see. I don't see it in the description, so I'll have to go into the credits. But yay, I'm so excited. That's awesome. And then a couple of general catalyst links is Parachute Panda. I almost said Kung Fu Panda. Take your friends skydiving. This is another one of our top selling board games. Make sure you're the last to the ground. I always love my description of this, and I'll get to do it again probably at GAMA at some point, is pandas of course love skydiving, and do it over an alligator pit, and you want to be the last to land so that the gators fill up on all of your friends before you hit the ground, for the kids. So love that. Enjoy the coziness of the Lucky Griffin anywhere with the Quincy's Tavern mug. Love the Quincy merch. Don't forget to sign up for the My Hero Academia crowdfunding campaign. We're still waiting for final approvals. It's been a very slow process, but join so you don't miss out. And then join the Catalyst Game Labs Discord to find gamers for Battletech, Shadowrun, and more. Whew. All right. Hi, RJ.
Hi.
Nice Shadowrun poster over your shoulder there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you start in on, let's talk about the book releases for this year first, the source book releases.
Okay.
I'd like to hear details of what each one of these is all about.
Okay. Well, so like we said earlier, coming out in March, we've got Mean Streets. So anybody who's been following the Shadowrun books recently is probably up to date with the meta plot, with everything. We had the Discian Shadow War that concluded in Lethal Harvest and stuff like that. Then we had a number of books that came out that kind of dealt with the aftermath of that. Like, for example, you had Deus Ex Arcana, which dealt with some of the magical sides of things, which was also our advanced core magic book. Then we had a book called Margin Calls, which kind of touched on what some of the stuff that the Corps had to deal with, and what was happening with them as a result of all those shenanigans. Mean Streets kind of follows that theme and sort of touches on how did the Discian Shadow War affect everything at the street level? Mm-hmm. How did it affect not only Shadowrunners, but how did it affect just the average person, people who have to deal with all the little dreck that falls downhill. and once it hits the bottom, what happens then? So Mean Streets not only takes a look at that, it takes a look at, some of the things that's been happening on the streets with the average person, and as a result, what were some of the repercussions? And it also dovetails into how did some of the various like criminal organizations deal with that? Like we've still got the Yakuza, we've got the mob, we've got the Vori, all those people. What are they doing, or how do they try to take advantage of the situation? Because a crisis, never waste one, especially when money's involved. So we sort of delve into that and we're also starting to set up the new status quo for Shadowrun. Like what's going on in the streets? Like how is all of this sort of coming to a head now that we've just been through all of this? And as a result, one of the things that we've developed and came up with was, a lot of people are going to be doing some crazy things, which means that you're going to get newcomers to both the shadows and to gangs. So we went through and said, okay, what new gangs can we come up with? What and how would they organically evolve from all this chaos? And we've got at least half a dozen of them new ones that are, some of them are really, really interesting. Some of them are a little more traditional, and some of them, I hope people look at them and go, well, that's nuts, but I love it. So, I mean, there's a whole lot of the new ones we've got. I mean, I don't know how much I should dig into that, because I want to tell everybody about everything, but I don't want to spoil the book at the same time.
That's a hard balance. And without me knowing, I don't know what to like tell you. Like,
yeah, I mean, I can give you a couple hints and tell you about some of them. Like, for example, we've got the Hellhounds, which used to be the 405 Hellhounds from Seattle, but now they're going national and expanding. And they're going to and they're making a bid to become the prominent Go gang in North America. So that's going to put them going head to head against the Ancients.
I kind of love that, because in World of Shadows season 3, which is not out yet, I needed a gang and I was like, I don't know what to use. I'll use the Hellhounds. Hope they're in LA.
Oh, they've gone way beyond the West Coast. They have now penetrated as far into a little town called Motor City and are trying to make their presence known there.
Well, thank you for making my my weird lore accurate.
Hey, what are friends for?
Without even knowing.
If not, we will retcon it, because that's what we do. Yeah. Cool. We also have another group which I'm very, very which I love. They're called the Death Masks. They're kind of they're very secretive, but they like to wear these ornate masks and just cause absolute chaos. But there's always a reason for it. You find out that line between, is it good or is it evil? They kind of dance across that. It's like, yes, they killed a whole bunch of people, but you find out those people were really bad. So what are you going to do? And then we have another group called the Untouchables. And they're essentially groups that people who may or may not have accidentally helped the Dissians, and now they're kind of blacklisted and on their own, so they're kind of banding together. So that's an interesting little twist. Cool. And one of my probably my favorite of the new gangs, they call themselves the Resonant Aliens, a gang of technomancers who are now causing a lot of havoc and going and diving into some of the more deeper aspects of the Matrix and Resonance realms. So,
yeah, I enjoy those types of stories. Yeah, I like those a lot. Cool. So, man, I feel like we could probably spend like 8 hours doing like lore questions and stuff, just since I like my headcanon kind of exists in about 2076, and it's like hard to move forward from that. So I kind of want to be like, so what happened with these guys? What happened with these guys? But I want you to talk more about books. So
yes, books. So
now you had mentioned something that is going to be kind of like a, if you're behind on the lore like I am, that this is going to kind of help with that. Is this similar to kind of what battletech did with battletech universe?
Yes, so that would be state of the art 2084. Now in there have been past soda books. The ones that I remember, we had state of the art 20, I want to say 2063 and 2064. And then we had one recently, I want to say state of the art 2073. Pardon me if I'm a little off on that. There's a whole lot of dates to remember, but what those books are is they get you caught up with some of the bigger plot lines, and they kind of give updates, and they also kind of plant seeds for up and coming stuff. Or they'll sometimes will focus on a particular person or subject and just do a little bit of a deep dive. Like I remember one of the sodas, they talked about the mercenary trade a little bit. They talked about politics and stuff like that. So we're going to get a lot of that in Soda 2084. Cool. We're going to talk about some of the new things that the corporations are doing. So we're going to catch up with some corporate shenanigans, specifically. So there might be some trouble brewing between Renraku and Shiawase. So that's going to be interesting. Awesome. We've got some big news on the when it comes to national governments and stuff like that. We've got some stuff brewing between the UCAS and the CAS, which can be both good or bad depending on which.
This is Shadowrun. It's only bad.
It's exactly. We hit on some stuff that's going on in Europe, which I'm very happy about. Some stuff from France, the UK, they get some significant word count, but I think one of the biggest updates we get is the NAN. We have an entire section about the NAN and how basically they are reclaiming their old heritage. So they have effectively renamed themselves. So all of the NAN nations are going to have new names.
Oh, cool.
As of this book. So
awesome.
I don't want to spoil exactly what they are. Well, that I can't remember off the top of my head exactly what they are. But we had a writer, Elena Pete, who has contributed to some Shadowrun fiction in the past, specifically want to update the NAN, and she had some great ideas, and now they've come to fruition. So cool. The entire course of the NAN has changed, and I think for the better. So I'm very excited about that.
So this is absolutely my own OCD, but it's driving me nuts that you and I pronounce things different. Like some people do UCAS versus UCAS, things like that. And so like my headcanon is being called into question by the line developer of Shadowrun, and I don't like it.
So as long as the letters match up, you're fine, okay. So
and it's a little important because we do have for audiobooks a pronunciation guide, so if I need to correct anything, I do need to know. Like, do you do ARO or arrow?
I interchange. I mean, okay. It all depends. I mean, sometimes when that's kind of funny because especially when I run games at conventions or I talk with people who are new, I will actually explain things out before I start using the acronyms so that people know what I'm talking about. So if I just start talking about arrows, people are gonna start thinking, what is a bow? I'm not,
yeah,
what's going on here? But if I explain to them, no, arrow is just short for augmented reality object, then people are like, oh, stuff like that.
Yeah, follow along. I was just commenting recently that reading the rule books sometimes, because you end up with like DV, DR, there's so much, and then I forget where we are by chapter 8. So I'm like, wait, what is that?
If it makes you feel any better, sometimes I still have to remind myself occasionally because there's so much shorthand.
Yeah.
So
awesome. What other books do you want to talk deeper about?
Well, let's see. We did talk about Shadowrun Hong Kong, which is really, really cool.
Oh, were you able to send the file?
I did.
Can you do the thing?
There you go. See?
Yay,
segue.
It's coming.
Drum roll, please.
There it is. Oh, cool. Oh my God, is that Rob McKittrick?
Maybe.
That's awesome. Oh, he's gonna cry if he hasn't seen this yet.
I'm not sure if we've shared it with him or not, but he
Aw.
is. If you look, he tends to show up quite a bit in some of Echo's work. So.
Oh, that's so cool. That's a badass cover.
Yep. So.
Neat.
Yep. And it's just we've just sent that off to print, so we're hoping to start getting those onto shelves and in stores probably later this year, because we were running out of the Berlin edition, so we needed to replace it with something. So we're not as of right now, we don't have a exact date when this will be showing up, because we are going to try to get through as much of the Berlin editions as possible so that we're not confusing people.
Cool. I did just get a text back, by the way, for our battletech fans from Paul, that the 429 ones are the first date any can be released, but they will probably be spread out. So just that's why we have our grain of salt. Awesome.
I think it's the whole salt shaker at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe the bag.
The cap fell off. Someone pranked us. It's always
Yep.
Awesome. So tell us more about anything more about Hong Kong, because the core book stays the same.
Yes.
Except for like the minor updates and typos and fixes and stuff.
So
then,
to be perfectly honest, by the time we got to the Berlin edition, we had pretty much taken care of as much as all the errata as we could possibly take care of. This, like I said, is just a way to make sure that Shadowrun 6th edition stays on the shelves, because we're running out of the Berlin edition. It's a good problem to have. And like with the Berlin and Seattle edition before, what we did is we tacked on about 50 or so pages at the back end of a little bit of fiction, again by Malik Toms, and an entire section which delves a little deeper into running in Hong Kong. So we've got a little bit of information about local stuff, the runner scene, and all that great stuff. So if people want to get a little bit more information about Hong Kong, or at least up to date, this is where you go. So
that's cool. I like that a lot, and I think it's clever to do these re-releases, because I've collected them all. So
and one of the things I like about the fact that we're highlighting certain locations is it gives us a chance to actually delve a little deeper into those particular locations, because while Seattle will always hold a special place in the hearts of Shadowrun fans and in lore, Shadowrun has sort of branched out, especially in the last the last decade or so, to be truly a global game. So one of the things I absolutely love is the opportunity to highlight different locations, like Germany, France, Europe, anywhere in Asia. And that's one of the things I love about the ebooks, because we can do that a little easier. And you're trying to say something. You have a request.
So I live in Montreal.
You live in Montreal?
We actually do have a skyscraper that has Evo on it. So let's do something with that.
Okay. Well, all right. So if you'll permit me, I could start talking about some of the next things I want to talk about, which are some of the ebooks. So we already touched on running a la carte. We have another ebook that's going to be coming out called Subscriber Numbers, which talks about social media in Shadowrun, something we didn't get a chance to touch on. It was kind of mentioned here and there, but given how prevalent it is in our society, we felt that Shadowrun needs to kind of talk about that stuff as well, because we can definitely see it kind of progressing parallel with ours. And we just wanted to have cool ways to link the two together. So,
all this time I had just been ignoring it and hoping that was the one thing that the Shadowrun universe learned to do better, is just be like, nah.
Nope. We have to put it in there, foibles and all, because it creates conflict, which creates good stories. But one of the things that we do have coming up down the road on the production schedule is a Quebec location ebook. So very
Yay!
excited about that. So we are getting into a little farther north.
That's
But
awesome.
but the big ebook thing that I want to talk about, that this is going to be kind of huge, is we are doing essentially 6 ebooks, not just one but 6, that deal with desert wars. I mean, it's been kind of a thing in Shadowrun lore, especially if you like some of the more military or in the higher tech mil
I
spec
don't know
stuff.
if this audience likes military or higher tech.
I know, right? I mean, it might, but if they stick with me, we will get through it. So, for those of you who don't know, who might be familiar with Shadowrun lore, Desert Wars is just basically a big competition. They go out in the middle of a desert, usually the Mojave or wherever they can, and where different corporations, mercenary groups, and stuff like that treat it like a sport and just blow the living crap out of each other. You know, they test new weapons. There's like betting on whose team's going to win. It's like pick your most extreme sports event, but with like, rocket launchers and machine guns. But it's also a proving ground for mercenaries to kind of wet their to blood themselves a little bit, and to maybe find work with like other corporations or other mercenary groups. But it being also an entertainment, it's there's also that little thing that you've got to talk about as well, all the behind the scenes wheeling and dealing, the corporate shenanigans, stuff like that. So we have 2 books. The first 2 which are set to release hopefully later this month. I've got the drafts in hand. I just need to give it a pass, and we need to give it some art, and then hopefully we'll get that set up to release later this month. The first 2 books are going to talk about some of the background and the behind the scenes stuff, and then we're going to have 4 consecutive books which are going to talk about things like air combat, which are going to talk about land warfare. We even have a section on like naval stuff, blue water combat. So kind of like the old ebooks, like This Old Drone, Mil Spec Tech, kind of inspired by that. And on top of that, I've partnered with John Helfers and Jen Brozak, and we're going to have some companion fiction to come along with it. That's what I was talking about earlier with Jason Mallory's book. So awesome. It's going to tie directly into those.
Cool.
And then on top, and then as the old saying goes, but wait, there's more. We even worked with the CDT people for convention missions, which are also going to tie into Desert Wars. So we'll probably be seeing those maybe later this year at some of the conventions. So, cool. So this is a thing. Neat. And so we are going to have, because of this and other ebooks, we're going to be dropping at least 1 ebook per month for the rest of the year.
Yay!
For those of you who like ebooks, you're going to get your wish.
Awesome. That's really cool, RJ. Thank you. Is there anything else you want to share before we switch over to Q&A?
I just want to, as always, I just want to say thanks to all the Shadowrun fans and the people who keep everything running. And of course, I got to give, credit where credit is due to all the freelancers, both who are working the mainline ebooks line and those who are, who are also demo team agents who do a lot of work and stuff there. I just say, you've made my job so much easier, and I just want to say thank you for it.
I did hear that this year, Origins is going to have a cyberpunk theme.
Yes, it will.
Are we doing anything with that?
There are plans. Where those plans are, I'm not quite sure yet, but we are hoping, or at least I'm hoping, that some things have been approved and gone through, so that we will have an interesting experience at Origins this year, or possibly at some other conventions this year as well. So we shall see.
Awesome. All right, let's switch on over to Q&A. And Craig, I see your question that just popped up. I'm going to try to text it to Paul real quick. Mugs, t-shirts, swag. going on web store when question from TN. Cool. Sorry, that one I can't type text as fast as I type, so I had to take the spell slots to do that. So, but it's he's usually pretty fast at getting back to me.
Yeah,
all right,
you got a lot of minor actions, so I think you can.
That's only when I'm on Adderall.
Okay, so you have to use some combat drugs. I mean, hey, why not?
Right. Awesome. Okay. So a couple of these questions I might not have answers to because I looked ahead a little bit, but I did send some out. So if those folks get back to me, Fiction got back to me, I think. Oh, interesting. Okay. So Lorcan asks, will CGL be streaming from Adepticon? Yes, we should be. I need to confirm with them the schedule and stuff like that, and then we'll get some stuff out in social media unless something crazy has happened and that's changed. Night Moss asks, who wrote the Dover Gambit story in the February GTM magazine? Will it be continued or concluded elsewhere? I did ask our fiction chat about that, and John said that Mike Ritchie's the author. It is linked loosely to his Geisterwolf Protocol story, so I'll have to reach out to them. Just for those who don't know, GTM announced that March will be the last issue. So I'm sure that he'll want to finish that, but I'll have to reach out to him to see what the plan is. Modhale asks, will the Barnes & Noble and Target exclusives become available outside of the US? As far as I know, there are no more Target exclusives. Essentials was the only one. So that is released worldwide now. Barnes & Noble is a 6-month exclusivity term. So it will come to regular retail 6 months after April 1st. So in October, that should be available. Modhale also asked, any progress to report on the improvement of the EU distribution and supply? Again, I don't have that info. I know you ask periodically, and I do want to get our sales team on, but one of our international sales guy is really experienced, but halfway into retirement, and he is on vacation for a good chunk of February, so I might not be able to get him on until March. But we are working on getting him and Paul on to answer all of your guys' questions. Lorcan asked, any update on Rem making it to UK Games Expo? Not yet. I have to put budget together and proposal and send it to Lauren, so it'll take a few weeks before I have any more info on whether or not that's going to happen. RJ, we aren't doing UK Games Expo as a booth this year, so but there is a trade show out there, 2 trade shows surrounding UK Games Expo, so I'm gonna see if I can make it a marketing expense, and at least we have a presence. So
I'm all for that.
Me too. Turbo Turtle asks, when are the mugs and t-shirts and everything else returning to the Catalyst store? That's what I texted Paul about, so I don't have an answer of timeline for that, but hopefully he'll get back to us. Gwen's Dead asked, how will Discord's service changes affect the Catalyst Discord server? At the moment, I'm kind of at a wait and see. And there has been stuff previously that Discord has rolled out or announced that then they kind of took backseat. So I'm waiting to see if that happens, but it is very possible that usage goes way down because of that Discord. So it's kind of like we may hold it as a space for those that are on, but it may become a whole lot less busy if this actually happens. So I don't know. It's a wait and see right now. Battletech questions from the forums. Here, Lauren mentioned that 4 force packs have recently been discontinued. Can we get a list? I'll send that in my Randall chat and see if I can get an answer for you guys. I did ask him 2 questions already. It doesn't look like he's around right now, but also he mentioned the clan invasion box set has been discontinued, and there will be a force pack based on the minis from the box set released. Is there any word on the contents? Will it just be 5 mechs from the clan invasion box? I will also put that in to Randall. Nameless Brian asks, I've heard the fit problems with the battlefield emplacements are considered defective. Was this Elements problem with the anyway? Are the units out now fixed? Can still return if chopped or glued? Probably you won't get a return. You just take a picture of what's wrong and send it in to us. You can email store@catalystgamelabs.com. He might have a more current answer than I do while I'm waiting for an answer from Randall. So that's your best bet for right now. But again, I send these, and so if I get those answers, I can answer it next Tuesday, Newsday. Chris Merwin, I also put your question through. Is the plan to re-release all of the Battle Core? Will we also release some of the web fiction that has now sadly disappeared? So I have put the question to Randall. And then any word on the City Lunar BFM? Let me pull up the master schedule again and see if there's an easy answer, but if not, I can always follow up. I'm not sure. I will have to ask about that one. So I will put that in chat as well. Copy. Deusorum asked, if Clan Invasion box set is discontinued, will the maps in it be released some other way for future purchase? Man, you guys are just hitting me with the details that I don't know the answers to. But like I said, I will get them for you. Since we have so many questions on this stuff today, I have a feeling that we'll cover this early on in the next Tuesday Newsday. Man, that's a lot of questions. Let's see. Any last minute ones that have come through the chat? Any news on Runefire and the long delayed expansion for Shadowrun Crossfire? Metonymus, Runefire, we are waiting. So things are moving really well. We got an update on Monday that like the rulebook is close to finished and stuff like that. We will still need Paizo approvals, and they've been either super fast or super slow. So hopefully that goes super fast for any final approvals. But the big question that we have not gotten an answer to from our powers that be yet is, will this go to Kickstarter, or is this just going to be a retail release so that like we can get it out by Gen Con? So that is kind of the question that's in the air right now. And as soon as I have news on that, I can let you know. And then the other question, Shadowrun Crossfire. So they have looked at sales data, and they are not going to move forward on a new expansion for now. We have a ton in the pipeline already with our partnerships with Quincy and Kung Fu Panda and Voltron and all of that stuff. There's a ton of releases for this year, to the point that some of our releases that we had planned for this year are already getting pushed to next year. So it is not going to be on the docket for this year. What else? Did you announce the statement CGL put out about the use of AI in creating content for CGL? I haven't talked about it this Tuesday Newsday because it is a hot topic. I mean, I'm happy to, with our 6 minutes left, answer any questions that people have about it. But if you haven't seen it, it is out on social media. And it is the intention of Catalyst to always use always pay their artists, always hire real life people, artists, to do their work. They are who have contributed to the line as we know it now, and that's our stance on if it's within our control in the future. And by the way, I know we've seen some of the commentary on that kind of like softening of the statement of if it's in our control, but a lot of what we do is not our license. And so, you know, we have where we stand on certain things and stuff like that. But if something were to come up where we're told to use something or another, like, or, you know, we don't hold the license. So, so it is not our goal. We always want to support artists. We don't anticipate that being an issue, but it's always something that we have to say, like, it is our intention. But it is ultimately like, these are not our licenses. So there's nothing, just to be clear, in plan or process that we are aware of that is looking toward using generative AI for anything in our future at this time. But it was something that we discussed internally that, like, we can't make absolutes because these aren't our licenses. So there's the way we feel and then the reality of the situation. So happy to talk about that more, but that's where we stand right now. Okay, I got to that Deozorum question. Any word on the Leviathan's fiction? Hey, I answered that already. I answered that earlier. In case you missed it, you weren't around. Bill's first book in the trilogy is in editing. So they are expecting to get the trilogy out within the next 12 months. So Mahi Mahi asks, RJ, question, when can I get fragged by horrors?
Soon. No. No. So the horrors are an interesting kind of thing because of the whole Shadowrun, Earth Dawn, FASA, Catalyst Game Labs split. So, you know, I mean, are there metaplanar nastiness out there that are horrors like that might pop up? Yeah, sure. I mean, nothing is off the table in that regard. Things have kind of calmed down metaplot wise regarding metaplanar travel because of the result of the Disney Shadow War, but that just means that we're just letting certain things simmer in the background before we shine a spotlight in that area. But calling it the horrors, that's kind of one of those things I have to dance around because we have sort of a gentleman's agreement with FASA to kind of like wink and nod that yes, we kind of understand there's a shared history, but we're trying to legally not step on anybody's toes and use certain terms. So a lot of people were saying that the Dissians were the horrors. They're not, sorry. But I kind of let that kind of run because, you know, it's Shadowrun. Disinformation is part of what we do.
Yeah, so. For sure. Cobble says, I see none of the turrets fit on the emplacements. Just confirming Catalyst store for comments and concerns. Yes, so it's store@catalystgamelabs.com. And I believe, sorry, my brain is fried with all the meetings that we have had today and yesterday. I believe our support person did bring that up to Lauren yesterday when we met. And if this, like, the more that we hear about this kind of thing, Leah fixes it real fast for us and gives us replacements if they aren't already in process already. Yeah, send those emails in so that that our support team can get that logged and pass that on. James Oliver, it was asked earlier what's supposed to be in the Battlestar Force Pack. I did send that question off to Randall. So as we'll probably cover a bunch of those questions about the battletech stuff next week. All right. I think that's all of our questions, and we are at 5 p.m. Eastern on the dot. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you, RJ, for giving us a peek at what's coming for the rest of this year.
It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. And we will see you guys next week. Just keep in mind, again, as we get closer to March, we may miss some of the March Tuesday Newsday episodes, depending on travel and conventions and stuff. So I should be around for the Adepticon one, because I'm not going. But the week before, I will be at GaryCon, so it just depends on if I'm home and recovered by then. And then I will be at Gamma as well, so we will probably not be on for March 3rd. So March 3rd and March 17th, I'm betting not, but the 10th and the 24th, we should be around. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time.